Oh my god, this is crazy!
Middleofnowheregaming.com. Everybody go to that website. Say we sent you.
Yeah, get that traffic
I bet they're really good at Minecraft. They're probably the antithesis of us.
This is the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast.
Welcome into episode 79 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Courtney Osborne, and today I am joined by the one and only Nintendo Ninja, Lou.
Orange juice for life.
No, we're not doing that anymore.
No, I forgot that we still do that.
And then the Destiny demigod, Miles.
Oh crap! What was it? Houston, we have a problem. That was it.
I thought that was a real quote. That's a movie quote?
It was on the movie listing. I don't know.
Okay. Armageddon.
Sure. I don't know. I didn't actually look at what movie it was.
Oh,
Terminator 4.
What the fuck?
Houston, we have a problem. It was Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. Damn it! I was like, it's something that has to do with space. It has to be. Armageddon. The only one I know.
I was pretty close. I said Star Wars.
Star Wars.
You said stars. Stars are in space.
Yeah.
I said Armageddon. That had to do with space.
Okay, everybody gets half a point. I'm not even keeping track of this.
The only point I have ever gotten in this contest, and it's a half. I'll take it. Okay, so if you are watching us now, it is at twitch.tv/MongPlays, and there's a fly attacking my face. If you are not watching us, that is where it is, twitch.tv/MongPlays. That is where we go live with the podcast every week, normally on Tuesdays at 2:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. However, this week, due to exhaustion and scheduling issues, we did not record it on Tuesday, and we are recording it on Thursday afternoon, and a little bit later than normal. The scheduling issues was with Lou, and the exhaustion was with me. I came home and I took a fucking 3.5 hour nap on Tuesday, and it was fantastic. I felt so much better after that. But yeah, so if you want to check out the podcast live, you can go there. If not, it'll be up on YouTube and on all the other iTunes and Podbean and all the other podcast hosting services. It'll be there. And be sure to share the podcast with your friends. If you know anybody who might be interested in another gaming podcast or their first gaming podcast, have us, break in their virginity. Have us take away their gaming podcast virginity. We could be that.
Weirdest way you
we
could
will
possibly put that.
Break their gaming podcast cherry.
You could have said, christen there. I don't know.
That christen would have sounded infinitely better.
No, that would have sounded weirder, I think. But whatever. So, the biggest part of this intro section right now is the fact that we are now holding another giveaway.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been gone for a week, practically.
Yeah. We are holding not one giveaway, but a giveaway for 2 games, and then another giveaway next week, and then another giveaway the next week, and then another giveaway 2 weeks after that.
Holy shit.
Yes, it is the month of giveaways. The first giveaway is for Shovel Knight. We're giving away 2 copies of that on PSN. So it'll be for, I believe it's cross-buy, right? So it'll be PS4, Vita, and PS3, or maybe just Vita and PS4.
Yeah.
Fact checking.
I think that's the case.
I can't imagine. It runs on a Wii U. It runs on the 3DS. I can't imagine why it wouldn't go across all PlayStation platforms.
Yeah, exactly. Most games do anyways, especially indie games like this. So anyways, we are giving away 2 copies of it. You could find the giveaway on the website under Shovel Knight giveaway, enter for chance to win. There are several different ways you can enter. You can enter by just liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, tweeting about the giveaway, recommending a friend to follow us, following us on Instagram, following our Twitch channel, subscribing to either of our YouTube channels, writing a written review for our podcast on iTunes, or the special one this time, the very last one, is that you can draw a picture of Mong Man hanging out with Shovel Knight. I made that up at the last second. It doesn't really matter how you want to do it. You could sketch it on paper, take a picture of it. You can make it in Microsoft Paint. You could Photoshop it. You can draw your own picture in one of the Shovel Knight screenshots. So like the one where Shovel Knight's next to the campfire. If you want to put Mong Man just hanging out next to the campfire with Shovel Knight, go right ahead and do that. That'll get you 5 extra entries into the giveaway. It's just a really fun one. We like to do fun parts of or fun entries into every giveaway.
I'm doing it right now.
You have until April 21st to enter the giveaway, so you have until next Tuesday morning. It's midnight. It'll be Monday night, Tuesday morning. So you want to enter in as many times as you can before then. We will announce the 2 winners live on next week's podcast at 3:30 Central Standard Time. So we normally start the podcast at 2:45 or 3, right around there. We will announce the winners no matter what we're doing during the podcast at that time at 3:30. So if you want to tune in and you want to know if you won right away, that's when you could find out. If you don't want to tune in and you want to find out later, then you're just going to have to wait till the podcast is released or whatever, and then we will email the winners and we will get the games out to you. On PSN, you cannot buy games and send them to people, so we're going to have to buy a PSN card and send you the code off of that so that you could purchase the game yourself. So if you decide to just say fuck it and go buy whatever game you want with that little card, then you're more than welcome to. But this is specifically for Shovel Knight. That is, unless we get 2 codes for Shovel Knight. We might have giveaway codes for it. We don't know yet. We'll find out. But after that, the following week, we're going to be giving away a copy of Broken Age on PlayStation and State of Decay Year 1 Survival Edition. 1 copy of each of those. So look out for that giveaway next week. The following week, we'll be giving away Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, which is the prequel DLC for Wolfenstein: The New Order. And then 2 weeks after that, we are going to be giving away The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt to cap off our month of giveaways. Put that closer, Lou. We can barely see it.
It's good. You don't want to see it. It's awful.
Oh, my God.
I never really evolved past, 5-year-old drawing. Though my college art professor says that I am very abstract. I get all A's.
Okay. Whatever. So that is Crossbuy confirmed?
Crossbuy confirmed.
For Shovel Knight. Okay, so Shovel Knight, if you win, you'll get Shovel Knight on every PlayStation platform, right? Or is it not PS3?
Yes.
Is it PS3 too?
Let's just say yes right now.
Okay. Well, anyways. So, if you want to enter the giveaway, go do it. Share it with your friends. Enter in all 10 different ways if you want to. We encourage you to get more entries in, because the more entries in it you get, the bigger chance you have to win.
And there's always a really strong history of people winning on the creative entries.
Yeah.
We don't go out there and pick them specifically, but there's just been this long streak of people winning on those. So try drawing one of these. I know that you can't beat this, but you could try.
Crossbuy unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed. Oh, no.
Unconfirmed. As in not, it's not crossbuy, now that we don't know. It's just not right now.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways. Okay.
I misread something.
Leave it to Miles. So, what is on everybody's playlist this week? What have you been playing?
I can tell you what's not on my playlist. Mortal Kombat X, because I still don't have it.
Oh, that sucks.
That does suck.
Now, you put it on GameFly, right?
Yep. It shipped out the day before it came out, and I still don't have it. So
that's really strange. Do you know where the shipping, which warehouse it was coming from?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yeah.
See, my warehouse, I normally get shipped out of Kansas City, so it's like 30 minutes away, and so mine are normally here the next day or the day after. However, some games, some of the more obscure games, they don't have here, and so they have to ship from like Dallas or LA or something, and those ones take 3 or 4 days. So it just depends on where they get shipped from. So that's really strange that you don't have it yet. Hopefully you'll have it today.
Hopefully. Well, no, our mail's already come, so.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully.
Lou, what have you been playing? Sorry.
Yeah, I really haven't been playing anything. I've been doing a lot of applying to jobs, which is awful. Though I've been dead set today that I'm going to go after this podcast, after I record QuickTime Event, I'm going to go play Persona 4.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I really want to do it. I want to play through it. Is there Japanese... do they have Japanese audio at all?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I've been in a mood to try and learn Japanese. I hear a good way to do it is just start watching anime in Japanese with subtitles on.
I guess. I mean, I honestly don't think that's a very good way, because the subtitles aren't timed very well with the words that come up. And sometimes you'll have them, like, Japanese words sometimes will be really short and really quick, and it'll be like 2 full sentences up on the screen. And it's like, okay, So which one was which? Which word was, like a 4 or 5 word Japanese sentence makes up a 20-word sentence in English? And it's just like, how do you get there,
Right, but then again, I mean, that's how kids learn English.
Yeah.
So,
it's cross-buy
it's just immersion.
Okay, Shovel Knight is cross-buy and cross-save on all PlayStation platforms, according to our mod, Octosnake. So,
good on you, Octosnake.
Thank you for that.
I don't know what I was looking at.
Now, Lou, what about your review for Bastion?
Bastion, the review for that is going to come. I'm writing the review for it at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a preview?
In 10 words. 10 words or less.
10 words or less. It was much better at the beginning. It was much better at the beginning of indie scene. I would put the indie scene, but I only have 10 words.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I started playing it last week and played it for about an hour and a half and just could not get into it. Like, I don't know.
It has a lot of great components to it. I think that's actually where its strength is the individual components are amazing. That, the music is spot on. The narration, I think, is crazy good. I don't actually mind the gameplay, but I think all of the parts individually are better than when you mix it all together.
Yep, that's see, I tweeted out something along those lines, and I was just like, what do people see in this game? I cannot get into it. And every reply sent to me was music, narration. And I was like, well, that doesn't make a good game. Like, I can't play a game just for those two alone. Like, I would rather listen to the soundtrack or something. Like, I don't know. It just, something couldn't pull me in. So
But imagine that this is the first real big game that came out of the indie scene years before. That's why it was so big, and I can understand that it is probably a giant motivator towards Transistor and towards indie games past that. But going back and playing Super Mario 64 now isn't the same as playing it back 15 years ago.
Totally agree. Yeah. As for me, other than trying out Bastion, I played and beat Battlefield Hardline's campaign this weekend.
That was surprising to see you tweeting about that.
It was interesting. It was it's definitely not your typical war game, obviously, since it's a good cop, bad cop, dirty cop kind of story or whatever. So that kind of had me interested in it. The gameplay was solid, like any other game, any other shooter or whatever. So I enjoyed it for the most part. I'm glad I played it, but had it not been for GameFly, like I tweeted, that I never would have played the campaign. I was never going to buy the game. I was only ever going to rent it. So thanks to GameFly, I was able to experience it, and it was pretty cool. But, whatever.
I actually have a pretty cool rental story.
Okay.
I totally forgot this happened. I played and beat The Order over the weekend. It cost me $6 to play and beat it. Just got it from Redbox.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
So it took you 2 days?
It took me 1 day, but I wanted to go back and platinum it, and that took me the second day.
It's a good game, isn't it?
It's definitely a good game. I'm excited to see where the sequel goes.
Right.
And I think the story is. A lot of people compare it to Rise. I think that's unfair because I'm actually excited to see where the story goes to The Order, and for Rise, I could have cared less by the end.
Exactly. Same with me.
That said, I do see the shortfalls. And I can understand it, but I don't think... Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're judging it on a point of a game, I could totally see it as being repetitive in the same way Uncharted is repetitive, but really doesn't get that kind of slack that it should. But I think that there's a middle ground they both need to be at. I think The Order is a lot like Uncharted, and it should be higher, but I also think Uncharted should be a little lower on the spectrum.
It's interesting that you actually played a AAA release game within 2 months of its release.
I'm starting to catch up. I'm actually pretty close at this point.
Oh, man. All right, so now on to our trivia question, which today is, who is your favorite developer? Miles.
All right, we went with that one. Mine is like a three-way tie between NetherRealms, because they are the people behind getting me into gaming with Mortal Kombat 2. BioWare, because they make Mass Effect and Dragon Age, and that's one of those series along with Mortal Kombat that I will always pick up in some manner to play. And Bungie, not because of Halo, but because I realized last night, after like 2 months of not playing Destiny, I sat down and played a few missions, and I was like, oh, I want this back in my life. we need to get back together to Bungie.
I knew it. We've been saying it. We've been saying that you need to get back in. You're the Destiny demigod.
I mean, I never planned on stopping. I'm going to definitely jump back in when House of Wolves comes back, but like I picked it up and I was like, this feels right. I miss playing this game, so.
Fair enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Lou, you said that Nintendo was your favorite developer. Why is that?
That should have been guessed at. I think Nintendo really does a lot to innovate and surprise. Some stuff less than others. For instance, Legend of Zelda, which is normally always a perfect game. You know, you could argue that innovation-wise, it doesn't change too much from game to game unless you're playing Wind Waker, unless you're playing Majora's Mask. But I think what they do with Super Mario Galaxy, for instance, is fantastic. There's other games I really enjoy, not necessarily Nintendo developed, but Nintendo co-developed. Super Smash Bros. They put in a lot of help towards the Metroid Prime series, even though Retro was the main developer. I think if I had to have a backup, though, because Miles had quite a few backups, I'd go with Bethesda.
Bethesda. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because of Fallout or what?
Because of Fallout and Skyrim.
In Skyrim?
Well, you know what? Not so much Skyrim. I really liked Oblivion, I think, if I had to pick out of the Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah, I played Oblivion a lot more than I played Skyrim.
And I think it was a better game.
It was a phenomenal game. We have a comment in the chat at twitch.tv/MongPlays. It says, Square Enix is my favorite for Kingdom Hearts. That's a good answer.
Who said it?
Eriko. That's a really good answer. Okay, so my answer to it is Dark Cloud. The developers behind Dark Cloud, Level 5. Dark Cloud was my first Level 5 game, and I believe it was Level 5's first game, and it was on PlayStation 2, and that really changed gaming for me at that time. I was 10 years old when it came out, and I put in more time in that game than anything other than maybe like Crash Bandicoot. And then they went on to develop Dragon Quest VIII, Rogue Galaxy, White Knight Chronicles, Ni no Kuni,
Great game.
and then more recently Fantasy Life. And just like every one of those games is just so good, and I hold in such high regard. And I cannot wait. Every time Level 5 says they're going to announce something new, it just gets me so excited. So like I can't wait for E3 right now, because rumor is that they're going to be announcing a game similar to White Knight Chronicles, Dark Cloud, and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh my god, that's going to be so good. So that one's an easy one for me.
Yeah.
And we got another comment. Sorry.
I was going to say, they're behind John... I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. Joan d'Arc,
the PSP game.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That game was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
I can say that.
Totally.
It was one of the best PSP games I ever played.
It was the PSP. It's the only PSP game I've bought twice. So I bought it, sold it, and then bought it again when I got another PSP. I was like, I have to have it again. But then we had another comment. We have a few comments. One from moderator Octastake. He says,
I wonder what his favorite is.
My favorite is Kojima Productions because of Metal Gear Solid is my favorite game series. That's another good answer. And then Aaron in the chat says it's got to be Atlas for me. Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, Trauma Center, and others. And then Fable Merc says Insomniac is my favorite. The original Spyro series and Resistance 3. All good answers.
Bravo. Bravo, Fable Merc.
Everybody had good answers
I should have
on
picked
that.
that one.
Yeah, I was really considering putting Naughty Dog, Insomniac. Let's see,
Sucker Punch,
Bethesda. There's so many good production companies or developers. There are a lot of good answers to this one. But let's not delay anymore. Let's get on to the news from nowhere.
News from nowhere. All right. So our first story is the best story that's ever happened before, because House of Wolves Destiny's second expansion has been dated for Tuesday, May 19th. So we've got like a month. So everybody get hyped. I don't see any hype. Where's the hype?
Because you know why there's no hype?
Why?
It's the same fucking day as The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
What?
That game's not good.
Worst fucking day they could release this expansion. I'm not playing Destiny for another 2 months now. Like, there's no way.
What are they doing?
Yeah, right? I was so pissed when I saw this. Oh my god. Okay, go on.
I'm okay with it, of course. But along with this announcement, Activision also released a cinematic trailer, which is gorgeous, by the way, that teases what the new expansion has in store for players, which is the Queen of the Awoken and her creepy little incestuous brother are going to go to war with the Fallen that betrayed them. So yeah, that's cool. The date was leaked beforehand, but this finally confirms the May 19th release date, and the content doesn't stop there, as Bungie is planning more DLC, of course, because this is going to be a 10-year franchise, so it would be weird if they didn't.
Yep.
House of Wolves will not have a new raid, but they will offer a 3-player cooperative multiplayer arena mode, which is going to be called the Prison of Elders. Personally, I hope it's like Firefight or Horde mode if you play Gears of War. According to Bungie blog, the developer didn't make the decision to omit a new raid from from the expansion lightly, but placed its creating a new raid for the release later this year. So they didn't say if that's going to be in like the next big DLC pack, Comet, supposedly, or if that's just going to be like a standalone thing. Who knows? That gives weight to Activision's executive Eric Hirschberg, sure, claims that the biggest content release yet is coming after House of Wolves, which is the aforementioned Comet. The new cooperative in-game activity is, as I said, Prison of Elders. Will focus on variety, replayability, and skill, and they're going to show off live gameplay of that on Wednesday, May 6th, and House of Wolves will be $19.99, and it's coming to all the consoles that you love, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 3, the Xbox One, the Xbox 360. You'll notice I left one out because no one loves it. And the Season Pass holders will be able to receive the content for free. Well, free, if you bought the Season Pass.
So, I mean, okay, I understand. I was paying attention to Twitter whenever this was revealed, and everyone lost their shit over the fact that it's not going to have a raid.
Everyone lose their shit over everything with Destiny. Let's be honest.
Miles, you as the more Destiny-centered guy, what kind of impact does this have? Is it really that big of a deal, or?
It means the activity is going to have to be really monumental. Like, it's going to have to be extremely good because the raid is what people do. Like, once you get the high level content, it's like, yeah, you run through the story missions because you have to, but in the end, it's just to get to the raid and get the raid weapons and raid gear.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Prison of Elders is going to have to be very good. Otherwise, this DLC is probably going to fall apart. I like the idea of it being what it is because even in a clan, I've experienced situations where it's like, you need a 6-man team to go through a raid, and it's just been like, well, we got 5, but we can't get 6, and we're doing something that we actually have to have all 6 for, or something like that. So, like I said, I hope it's like Firefight or Horde mode, because those are just modes that I really enjoyed from the past, and also they're like really accessible, really easy to jump in and out of, and I would play that. It would put Destiny back on my docket of games I'm going to play for months on end just for Horde mode, because I love that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite modes in first-person shooters as well. So that would add more to it for me than something like a raid. I still haven't played a raid in Destiny. I stopped playing Destiny the first week of October, once all October started releasing week after week, game after game, crazy release dates. And so I haven't jumped back in and played any of the raids yet. But I didn't
do that. I haven't done that either.
Yeah, we have to do it sometime eventually. I do know one of my friends and coworkers, he has put in something like over 1,200 hours now in Destiny, and is like maxed out every character. He's platinumed the game, and he's played the shit out of it. And like when he heard that it was releasing the same day as The Witcher, he got upset. He was like, man, that means I'm gonna have to fucking wait and play The Witcher, because he plays it nightly with like a group, a fire team or whatever, and so he can't just take a break from Destiny to play The Witcher, because then his team will leave him behind. And so he's obligated. He has to play it while his friends are all playing it, and it's just like, God, that sucks. Like, I hate that people have to make up their minds like that. That a decision has to come from that.
Right.
Yeah.
Not enough time in the day.
No.
I see Octosnake commenting on the Trials of Osiris. I know I didn't mention it. That's another thing that's going to be coming along with the DLC. Those armors look amazing. They have like an Egyptian feel to them, like, you know, meshing Egyptian with the futuristic stuff that they have going on in Destiny. It's beautiful.
Huh.
It's a picture on the Bungie blog if anyone wants to go look at it.
So about midsummer, after I'm done with The Witcher and Batman, I might jump into Destiny. We'll see.
Depending what they say at E3, we got to figure that out.
Yeah,
there might be some summer releases.
There's going to be some huge summer releases at the beginning of July. It's going to screw up everybody's plans for this. Whatever. Okay, so moving on to story number 2. The PlayStation exclusive, the Order 1886, has released a patch to add a new feature to the game, which is photo mode. Reddit Down released a video detailing the amount of options you have while in photo mode. The coolest one is that you can take the character and the enemies out of the photo so you can focus only on the environments. You can even play the whole game with any filters you have created in photo mode. There are even more options that you can see in the video detailing it or by just downloading the update and booting it up. I really like this. I like that more games are adding in photo mode. I just wish that they would be there on release day. Because I finish games too quick, especially games that are shorter. Anything under 20 hours, I finish in the first week. And it's just like, after that, if you add a photo mode a month later, I'm never going to be able to experience it unless I go back and play it again. And
Which just so happened to be the day I was playing it. I booted up and I'm like, oh, photo mode, that's convenient. But I think this actually raises an interesting question. It's 2 months after. You think that they would have moved on by now?
Ready at Dawn?
What? Ready at Dawn. You think that they're probably moving on to their next game. What is the chance that at E3 they might drop some sort of DLC or some expansion?
Yeah, I honestly...
Could be.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. I think that they're going to go the route of just moving on to a sequel, and I don't think we're going to hear about it until probably next year or the year after. But, because I think what I see in my ball of truth, my vision of the truth, I see that the Order 1886 is going to become a franchise where we see a game every other year. So I assume we'll probably hear maybe something at the Video Game Awards this year, like a first teaser and then a big teaser at E3. Because they spent so long on that, you know, their engine, they now have it ready and they can make games quicker out of it. And so you would expect that they would start coming out sooner. So I don't really know if they want to go the DLC route because I feel like their story they want to tell in bigger segments, but I don't know.
Yeah, I just think that I think if you had asked me a week ago whether any of that was going to happen, I'd say absolutely no way. The order's done, moving on to the next one. But I like the idea that maybe they're going to make some sort of maybe prequel or something. I have no clue. But I really hope that's the case. I want a reason to boot up the order again. Whether it makes financial sense, I'm not sure. But yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised anymore at E3 if it happened.
Now, I just kind of thought about this. Two things. One, it'd be hilarious if you just took all the enemies out in the photo mode and, like, there's a glitch that just kept them from coming back. So you just walk through the whole game. Just, like, walking through with my guns. Ain't no way to stand them away. But, also, the idea that if this becomes, like, an every other year game, I can't wait for the Order 2886 to come up. That's going to be a great game. It's going to be Mass Effect. He's going to be meeting Shepard and all that. But, yeah, I'll be honest. When photo mode first started popping up, I didn't really think it was going to be a thing.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's
Right.
me either.
So, you know,
I'm glad it
screw
is.
me. I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, I'm glad it is because I took a lot of really cool pictures in The Last of Us, and you know, there's cool pictures you can take in Infamous because Infamous Second Son added it. And then I took a few cool pictures in Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Like, all those games, the one thing they have in common is they're beautiful. All of those games are. And the Order 1886 is another one, just another beautiful game that they added it into. So it's really cool to see that these keep getting added in. I don't know about God of War, because God of War is going to have it. I find that a little interesting.
Well, I want to see how it's looking.
Yeah.
Though I don't know. I can't imagine wanting a picture of Kratos holding up like a decapitated head. I don't think that's necessarily what I want to take a photo of, but some stuff is beautiful.
Or having a threesome.
You post either of those things on Facebook, and you're gonna get like family members sending you messages like, "Are you okay? Is this a cry for help? Do we need to be concerned?" You know.
Right.
All right, let's move on.
Moving on, a new Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex. Game is on the way, and it's called Deus Ex Mankind Divided. This is kind of old news, but we're going to go over it. The game was confirmed by the newest issue of Game Informer after screenshots were previously leaked to Konobu via NeoGAF. Square Enix has not confirmed the game themselves, but they have been doing a 3-day reveal of a new title by one of the Western developers on Twitch.
They were doing it last week.
Yeah. The final reveal was said to happen that day, and all clues revealed during the stream seem to point to Deus Ex. The game will star Deus Ex Human Revolution's protagonist, Adam Jensen, and will have him traveling around the world, including the Czech Republic. The story will take place 2 years after Human Revolution, and none of that game's 4 endings will be canon. What?
Good.
Yep.
That's a good.
I heard they were
Come
all
on.
outrageous, so.
Right.
They were all awful.
I never played that one, so I got to jump back into it. But anyway, Jensen will join an Interpol task force to capture augmented terrorists. Transhumans are now feared and hated around the world thanks to the AUG incident that resulted in millions of people being killed by those with augmentations. The terrorists are now trying to sway public opinion of augmentations as well as the mysterious Illuminati for their own benefit. The gameplay will again be a mix of stealth action and interactions with RPG elements. In an open world like Human Revolution, Jensen will have new augmentations available to him, such as firing nano blades from a distance and creating an indestructible nano shield around him. One screenshot seems to confirm that you'll be able to customize your guns. The game will be developed on the new Dawn engine and will also utilize DirectX 12 and AMD's TresFX. No release date has been announced, but it has been confirmed that the game will be released on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The Game Informer issue had an interview with the developer. Wait, what? The Game Informer issue with an interview with developer Eidos Montreal, I guess the studio, Eidos, and more details about the game will be available in a week or two on print and is available now for digital subscribers. Sorry about that whole mess up at the end. What do you guys think about Deus Ex?
Hey.
I played Human Revolution, and I think I bought it. Yeah, I bought that day one. That was back one of the times I had a job, and I was highly disappointed with it. So, like, it wasn't the worst thing I ever played. It was good, but it was just like the disparity between the things he could do in the trailers. Of course, they're going to be different. But, like, I don't. Did you all watch the trailers for the Human Revolution?
Nope.
I did not.
Okay, well, he had things where, like, he could smash the walls. He did that in the trailer. He could do that in the game. But, you know, they had him, like, going head-to-head with, like, a room of soldiers, and he, like, grab one of them by the head, and his arm would, like, spin him around and throw him and stuff. And I'm like, I'm expecting that. Like, I knew Deus Ex was originally a stealth game in the first two. I expected Human Revolution to be, like, a little bit of a branching path. And I tried it, and it's just like, oh... So everything you can do in that trailer is mostly false, and if you try and go into a room with guys, you're going to die. There's no hand spinning, and then the endings were just awful, because like, I'm pretty sure regardless of what you pick, the world ended somehow. So,
Right.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I'm not really that excited about it, because I haven't played it, you know, and I haven't really cared to watch trailers for it or see anything about it. However, I was going through my PSN purchases last night, and I realized that it was a PlayStation Plus game a few years ago, and
Thank
so
you,
that,
Octus
that
Knight,
I already
for
had
commenting.
it. I found that I already had it, and I was like, oh, well, shit, I already have Human Revolution, so maybe I'll replay this before the new one comes out. Maybe I will be interested by then. So as of right now, not interested, but I do have the first game, so I may play it eventually.
I'm calling it Human Revolution Remastered. Gonna see it in a year.
Ugh.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm not hyped for this. But I mean, if you've already got it, like if you had it on PlayStation Plus, don't get me wrong, it's worth playing because it's short and it's, I mean, it's a stealth game, so be prepared to stealth everything. But
Awesome.
But like if you're into that, go for it. It's not horrible, but otherwise it's just kind of like piss in the wind. I mean,
Piss in the wind.
piss in the wind. It's not. I'm not hyped for this.
Right.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Square Enix.
Moving
lovers.
on.
Moving on. Story number 4. Square Enix has officially announced Star Ocean 5 Integrity and Faithlessness, the latest in the Star Ocean franchise. The game is being developed by Tri-Ace, the original developer of the series, in collaboration with Square Enix. Tri-Ace was actually recently put on like mobile game duty, and so like this came as a huge surprise when it happened. One feature in the game touted is seamless integration between exploration and battle, as well as combat that will combine action and tactical elements. Screenshots of the game show a few new playable characters, the environments, and a look at the combat, including NPCs reacting to the fight going on around them. Let's see. It's copied twice here. It's copied like 3 times. Okay, so as of right now, the only things we really know is that it's coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, so both consoles. We don't know when it's coming. We don't know if it's coming to the West or not, but it is being developed, and it is being developed by Tri-Ace. I am a huge JRPG fan, first of all, and then a big Star Ocean fan, and so like this, when this was announced, blew my mind. Like, everything, all signs for the past year and a half have pointed to the Star Ocean franchise never coming back. You know, Tri-Ace was downscaling or whatever. They got put on mobile duty. The last Star Ocean related game was a mobile phone game. Like, everything was pointing to Star Ocean never existing again in the same realm that we had known it from The Last Hope, which was Star Ocean 4. And so when this finally came, like, I started screaming. I was like, yes! Like, I'm so excited! Like, the fact that it's not like a Vita game, or it's not just PS3, the fact that it's coming to PS3 and PS4, it just, oh man, it had me so excited. I immediately wanted to get up and tell everybody about it. I started tweeting about it, tweeted all the screenshots of it. The game looks gorgeous. Man. Octosnake, that's not breaking. We already have that on here, on our list. That was a few hours ago.
That's relatively breaking.
Yeah, it was like 4 hours ago when it happened, and it's going to be in our News from Nowhere video that's going up after this podcast. I've already recorded that, but yeah, that will be talked about eventually. In fact, we could tie it into the next story too.
Yeah. But thank you for looking out, Octosnake.
Yes, yeah. I told him to post anything breaking that he sees in that, like that, with breaking in front of it. That way we would know we could talk about it. So yeah, have either of you guys played a Star Ocean game before?
Nope. No clue.
I played one when I was younger and didn't have money, so if it gave me any reason not to play it, I would not play it, and I thought it was too hard or something. So
yeah. I would recommend, like, it's hard for me to say this 100%. You know, like, I would recommend playing Star Ocean 4: The Last Hope, which is an Xbox 360 and PS3 game. It's better on PS3. However, there are some horrible characters in that game, like voice acting and stuff. So, like, if you could play it in Japanese voice over, I don't know if you're able to or not, but if you can, like, I would probably play it like that, because there are some characters in there that just made me want to beat my head against the wall. But
is it just typical, like, JRPG? What would you compare it to? I've never played a Star Ocean game.
It's like Final Fantasy and Tales. It's a realistic-looking JRPG.
Okay.
It's about traveling through space and finding planets to live on after Earth was destroyed by a world war. And it's open world, and you run into enemies, and you get battles, and you have, like, this action battle system where you battle against several monster enemies or robots or whatever.
Right.
And it's really good. It was really fun. I really enjoyed the series, or the story of it, of The Last Hope, because The Last Hope is set right after the war. It's set, the war just happened, so it's basically a prequel to the series. The series itself is always set hundreds of years after the war, when they're already traveling through space, but this is the one where, like, they just left Earth and are trying to find a planet to colonize. So that was a really good one. But hopefully we'll see more about that soon.
I always saw Last Hope on the shelves when I had my 360, but I never had the money to pick it up. But maybe this will be a good jumping on point for me.
Yeah.
Relatively, anyway.
You guys should look at the screenshots if you haven't already. The game looks gorgeous. Man.
I will check it out.
Matters when the release date is. It matters what its relation is to other games.
Yeah, that's true.
If it comes out during Witcher territory, it'll never get played.
It's definitely not going to be that soon. Okay,
yeah.
So
All right.
Next story.
So, Star Wars Battlefront will be playable first on Xbox One thanks to EA Access. I hate you a little bit more right now, EA. That's according to Microsoft Games marketing lead Aaron Greenberg, who tweeted confirmation of the news on Twitter, because that's the only place you should be tweeting, I think. At this stage, we don't know any further details about how far in advance Xbox owners will be able to play the title, or if there will be a time limit on how many hours can be racked up, as was the case with Battlefield Hardline. I hope it's like 2 weeks to a month at most, because I actually want to play this really badly. I'm not buying an Xbox One just for it. So
I may be mistaken on this, but has EA Access not been the exact same early access for every game released?
I'm pretty sure it has.
5 days ahead and 10 hours max. Like, isn't that how it's been for every game? Like,
yeah.
I swear it was that way for all the first ones. Maybe it changed a little bit since then. But, like, the interesting part about this news is that when it first broke, like we were talking about earlier, everyone lost their shit. Like, oh my god, it's playable on Xbox first. Microsoft paid them off. It's only going to be on Xbox One. Holy shit, PlayStation sucks. And, like, he quickly tried to shut everybody down. And he's like, no. Just like every other EA game, you will have first access through EA Access. That's all I'm saying. And like people just are ignoring that completely and just continually going off about it. And it's just like, guys, it's EA Access. It's 5 days. It's 10 hours. That's all it's ever going to be. Like, so yeah, I mean, it's an EA game, so people on Xbox One are going to have access to it ahead of time for a little bit. But like, I was talking to somebody on Twitter the other day. I believe it was Steven. I don't remember, but it was something along the lines of how I don't see that as much of a selling point. Like, it doesn't really hurt my feelings that it's going to be playable for a few hours on Xbox One. Like, I always plan on playing it on PS4, and the fact that you get a few hours ahead of time, like, that doesn't sway my opinion whatsoever, and it doesn't make me hate Xbox because of it. Like, I don't know. It's just it's a service issue, and you know, if you don't have the service, oh well.
To me, it's no different than. Sorry, Miles, I just cut you off. For instance, Bloodborne came out in the U.S. before it came out in Europe by like 3 or 4 days. It's not like if I lived in Europe, I highly doubt I'd be like, oh, fuck the U.S.
Yep.
They're getting Bloodborne. I mean, it's really that simple. It's not like they're getting a ton of extra content. They're just gamers doing what they do. Just let them enjoy their 10 extra hours, and you'll get to play eventually.
And it's not like you. That was a good example you brought up right there. That's a good way of comparing it. And it's not like Codename Steam, for instance, which was released in the U.S. or North America in the middle of March, but it's not coming out in Europe until like, what is it, the end of May or the beginning of June? Something like that. It's 2 or 3 months away from each other. So it's not like Xbox are going to be playing Battlefront from August until November or December. You know, like, it's nothing like that. It's literally a few days and a few hours. So nothing to be upset about.
Yeah, the last thing that EA put out that actually caught my interest was Dragon Age Inquisition, and I don't know why I wasn't paying any attention to. Did Xbox do that first?
It was an EA
game.
That. Yeah.
Okay,
they had to, as much as EA Access would allow them. Yes.
Okay, for some reason, like, I just completely blanked on that little short period of time, probably because it was just a short period of time. So yeah, knowing that information, that it's only going to be like they only get to pay 10 hours before me, and I'm still going to get to play it. I don't know. Like, you said, like, what, they get it 24 hours early or 10 hours? They get to play it
5
10
days.
They get 5 days early.
5 days and for 10 hours, and they still have to buy the game in order to play it after the 10 hours is up or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's not that bad then. I thought it was like an actual gap, not like when someone says it's going to release on something first. Like, I imagine the disparity that there is between like the Xbox One or Xbox users getting the content for Destiny, which is like months. Yeah, like, I think they still don't have some of the stuff that PlayStation has, and it's been a while. So that's what I was thinking about.
Can we work in the last bit of Star Wars Battlefront news?
On.
The one that is just breaking.
Yeah.
Star Wars Battlefront release date might have been leaked. According to a leak in the website source code, Star Wars Battlefront will be released on November 17th, 2015.
Woo!
What do you think about that date?
That's my brother's birthday. That's what I think about it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I think that it's going to get delayed.
You think it's gonna get delayed?
Yep.
Isn't the next Star Wars movie in December? So
Yeah.
wouldn't they want it right before that movie? Like I believe that's their plan. You know.
It's part of canon, isn't it? Like they've worked that into yeah.
Everything now on is going to be canon. Everything before, other than the movies, are not canon. That's what I heard. I find this news really interesting or this release date specifically. One, it's going to be good publicity for the movie. That is the one big positive. The bad part of it is that it will be at least a week, probably 2 weeks after Call of Duty, and 3 weeks after Halo 5. That'll be 3 major first-person shooters all next to each other, and just you know, like that sucks. That sucks.
Well, just to speak on date conversions or whatever, Star Wars Force Awakens will be releasing almost exactly a month after Battlefield. December 18th.
Battlefront.
Is when it, Battlefront, yeah. Yeah, we already know that Battlefield's the bad one.
Except for Hardline was okay. I found it okay. While we're on that topic, I want to bring up the tweet I had yesterday. Right after finishing up the campaign mode, I tweeted, Battlefield Hardline had a pretty fun campaign. Time to send it back to Gamefly. Wouldn't have played it otherwise. And one of the Visceral Games developers retweeted that. Ooh. I was like, did he take that as a good thing or a bad thing? Like, because it was kind of meant both. Like,
well, maybe he was like the story writer. So
maybe,
like
yeah.
that is like solely just a compliment to him, and he's totally okay with it.
Yeah. I felt so awkward after it. I was like, oh god. Hopefully I never have to meet him and he remembers that.
I mean, any publicity is good publicity, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. We're talking Battlefield. However, we have Black Ops news. Activision has teased Black Ops 3 with a short video titled Back in Black. The video included so many references to Black Ops 1 and 2 that when it ended with a Roman numeral 3, Black Ops 3 seemed all but confirmed. Hours later, Activision confirmed that 2015's Call of Duty game is indeed Black Ops 3. A hidden paragraph in the source code of the official Call of Duty website offers new details about Black Ops 3. Zombies mode is coming back. This isn't a huge surprise considering both previous Black Ops games included the undead. Still, it is an excellent additional mode that gives players something to do aside the multiplayer. Black Ops 3 takes part in a dark, twisted future where the lines between humanity and our technology are blurred. Military robotics are the core of warfare, so I guess we're still getting those kind of cybernetics. Activision has confirmed that 2015's Call of Duty game is Black Ops 3. We have that already. Okay.
So, besides the original Modern Warfare, Black Ops was my favorite Call of Duty game. Like, those two are leagues above the rest in both their story and their multiplayer. Like, their multiplayer was amazing.
That's Treyarch, right? Those were the developers?
God, there are so many Call of Duty developers now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I can't keep track. I'm going to... Octosnake, look it up. Thank you.
Anyways, so I'm really excited that they're continuing Black Ops. However, I skipped Black Ops 2 because of the absurdity that the story was. Like, it just nothing about it interested me because Black Ops 1 was so good and it didn't have all this futuristic giant robot bullshit. Like, I was like, no, I'm not playing this. Like, I may go back and play it eventually, but I just completely skipped that entry, and it was the first time I had done that with Call of Duty.
Right.
So that does not excite me that it sounds like it's going back to that. I really want to believe in them. I really want to play it, but you know, whatever. And I enjoy that the zombies is coming back because that's always been a good mode. It's always been fun to play with a bunch of friends. You know, hunker down in a corner and try to funnel in all the zombies and destroy them all. But other than that, it's just like another Call of Duty game.
Yeah. Has anyone actually watched the trailer? Have either?
Yeah, the teaser. I've seen it.
Did it feature the song Back in Black?
No.
Well, then I'm completely disappointed with it, and this has lost all of my support.
It just has like the protagonist from Black Ops in his quotes, and some of the other characters just saying things, quotes from the previous 2 games, and like the screen was black and it was showing like outlines of characters and events and stuff, and it ends with like a giant eye, and then it splits into 2 eyes, and then it splits into 3 eyes, so it's 3. It's like, okay, well, it's Black Ops 3. So, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, speaking of Activision games ruined by annualization, it has been rumored for some time now, but it has now been confirmed that a new Guitar Hero is on the way. The latest entry in the series will be titled Guitar Hero Live and will be released in fall 2015 for the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Wii U. The game will cost $99.99, so $100, and will come with a copy of the game, as well as a new guitar controller that will have a different fret layout than the previous titles. Instead of having 5 multicolored buttons along the fretboard like we're used to, there will be 2 rows of 3 fret buttons. One of them will be white, one will be black. It's like a 3x2 square. This means that you won't need to move your hand anymore, but you will need to watch which button your fingers are pressing. A new feature called Guitar Hero TV will be included and will be a 24/7 online channel that allows you to play songs besides their music videos and with others online. One of the biggest changes revealed in the trailer released that day is the game will be played from the first-person perspective of the guitarist and will feature live-action video of the crowd and your fellow band members. The footage will change depending on how well you're doing, meaning the crowd will boo and the band will glare at you when you aren't doing well and will cheer and rock out beside you when you are. And that was, of course, in the other games too, basically. However, this one looks a lot more realistic.
Yeah, this one's live. Like, live, real people, not animated. Okay, I have all kinds of thoughts on this. 1, I'm glad Guitar Hero's coming back. That's nice.
Okay.
2, I'm glad they're changing up the format of the guitar. Like, as much as I like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, I hated having to move my hand up and down it. I know it's kind of realistic, but you know, like my hand was not big enough to touch all the buttons like some other people's were.
The pinky starts to hurt.
Yeah, it hurt every time. And so like I couldn't do it. I couldn't play on the higher difficulties because of that. And so like it's interesting that they have them all together. Maybe it'll be easier to do that.
Maybe.
However, like the story said, you know, you have to watch out for accidentally hitting the wrong button. Now, well, that's the case with every game. Like, I could see how it would be a little bit harder in this game because your hand will probably be touching the first 3 and your fingers will be touching the second 3, so it'll be a little bit more interesting. The last part is I am not a fan of this first-person live-action thing at all, like, whatsoever. I think it's the stupidest thing they could have done.
As of compared to
what they were
already doing?
Yeah, just keep it the way they were. Like, I never paid attention to what's in the background anyways, and now that you're adding real people and they're going to react and get mad at you if you're playing horribly or cheer with you if you're playing well, like, it just seems so gimmicky and silly, and it doesn't make me think I'm, like, as much as I've played those games in the past, it'll never make me feel like I'm actually on stage. And this isn't going to help it whatsoever. It always feels like a game. I'm only ever staring at my fretboard trying to match colors. I'm never looking past it. So, like, it will never make a difference. Like, I don't know. It just seems silly.
Have you ever considered that it's not for you, though?
No.
It might be.
Totally, maybe not. You know, whatever.
Well, no, not even in the sense you as in Courtney. I mean, you as in the player. It might be for the people sitting around, because generally this is still a party game. It's not Rock Band, but it is a party game. And it's, you know, the fun of it for a lot of people is watching the audience react and, you know, either bashing or cheering on whoever's playing the guitar.
Yeah.
And I think that would be entertaining for whatever parties. I imagine that eventually it's not going to matter, and you'll most likely go into the music video mode, which is also available apparently.
Yeah.
And that's no different than DDR, because I think DDR's been doing that since forever, as far as I can imagine.
Now, how many different live action crowds are they going to have? Are they going to have one for every fucking song? Are they going to, like, when crowds sing beside you in previous games, like they would sing the songs or whatever and get into it, like, are their lips going to do that and follow you? Like, it just, there's so many different ways that I think that this is going to just harm the experience, that it's going to be weird seeing the same ugly-ass punk rock people in the front row getting pissed at me that I missed the same note for the fourth time I played this song. Like, it's just, I don't know. I think it's going to be annoying.
I assume it's going to be like one thing per venue, because
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a lot of devotion to space and everything else if they had to, like, different crowds for each song. But in terms of this game, I have like 3 things to say. One, I'm happy it's coming back, because I admit the soundtracks for Guitar Hero and DJ Hero are really good, and I will go through those on Wikipedia and pick out songs I want to get. So I admit I've gotten some good stuff from those. 2, that the whole live action thing does sound just kind of awkward. Like, I know live action works kind of for like Command and Conquer, but normally when it's put in video games, it kind of messes up the experience, because it's like, that's a little too real, it looks gross, it doesn't really work here. And 3, it has only been 5 years. We know how badly Guitar Hero and Rock Band just kind of like plummeted from, they were Icarus, let's face it. They got too close to the sun, everyone was loving it, and then it just plummeted down into like the depths of, I worked at GameStop and we wouldn't even take the guitars and stuff anymore. Yep. It got that bad. It's only been 5 years. Has it been long enough? Because I don't think it has, personally.
I think that it's really a very interesting time for Guitar Hero to get its start. Like, we're still on that, basement floor level of next gen or current gen at this point. And I think that if they're trying to establish a platform, like if this is going to be the Guitar Hero game, it's not Guitar Hero 1 on next gen, this is the Guitar Hero game, and then they just keep rolling out with expansions. I could see it being a lot more successful than it was when it was Guitar Hero 1, Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero AC/DC, all that.
Could be, yeah. And also, I just had a thought, like with the live action, the crowds, and the first person experience, I kind of feel like this is something that they need to save for when like the Morpheus is out, and when more like
exactly.
This sounds like something that they plan to use for VR, and it's like looking at that on a TV might not be as fun as it is on VR. I don't know. Like, they have a little thing in the helmet that just kind of like knocks you in the head when someone throws a can at you.
Yeah,
that's the real experience. But
throwing tomatoes at you and shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, moving on to the next story, the Sony exclusive Bloodborne sold over 1 million copies, thank you, Miles, worldwide in only 12 days since its release. The news came from Sony Computer Entertainment yesterday. The number includes both digital and retail copies of the game. In honor of this achievement, Sony and From Software will distribute a free customization item for the messengers. I hope it's more top hats for them.
There's a picture of it. You can look up a picture of it to see what they look like. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, From Software, if you're listening, where are my messenger hats? I got the freaking downloadable content ones. I have not been able to find them. They are nowhere in my inventory. When I go and try and access the messenger that's like supposed to change the hats, he just won't pop out of the tree stump for me. So.
Now, are you guys surprised that it sold 1 million copies that quick?
Nah,
not a bit. It was the most talked game since Until Dawn. No, I don't know. What was the one? Dying Light.
Yeah, I was saying Until Dawn's not out yet.
They're the same name basically. Until Dawn, Dying Light. I really don't know the difference.
Dying Light is more like Dusk. Dawn is the complete opposite.
One leads into the other. Dying Light into Until Dawn.
Okay, so yeah, it doesn't surprise me either, and that's a good point, Lou, that it was the most talked about game since Dying Light. Dying Light sold the way it did because of the continued conversation on Facebook and Twitter and on podcasts and things like that, and Bloodborne has been that. Bloodborne for the past 3 weeks now has been the only thing talked about among gamers. people who want it, people who can't beat it, people who have quit it, people who've come back to it. Like, it's just constantly at the top of conversation. So it doesn't surprise me either. And it kind of more surprises me that it took 12 days to hit 1 million. I for some reason thought it would have done that in the first week, but it took almost 2 weeks to do it. Either way, it's a good thing that it's a huge milestone for a first-party game on a Sony platform. Well, not first-party, but exclusive game.
Brand new IP.
Brand new IP, yep. And a very hard new IP based in a niche genre of games. So, like, that's really, really interesting to see it did that well. I'm wondering how many of those million, like, got the game and just fucking rage quit. It was like, what the hell did I do? Like, why did I buy this game?
Probably quite a few, let's be honest.
All right, let's move on. Okay, my story's next. Number 9, Bandai Namco has released a new English trailer for Tales of Zestiria that reveals when we can expect it to finally launch. The trailer is titled Tale of the Shepherd, and it reveals that Tales of Zestiria will officially launch during fall 2015 and will include both English and Japanese voiceovers. This is interesting news because, for one, we didn't really have a release date. The closest thing to a release date was last year at Gamescom. It was revealed that IGN reported that Bandai Namco said it would come out 6 months after it did in Japan. Well, it came out in January in Japan, so therefore IGN was like, okay, that means summer 2015. And so people have been going off that, even though it's never been stated summer 2015. And I've been telling everybody, you know, like, there's no way Bandai Namco is going to come out and say it's coming out in summer now. Like, it is too close to summer. They're not going to fuck themselves over. Like, so it had to be pushed back, and it was confirmed yesterday that it is in fact pushed back. The trailer though was not that interesting, and I don't know. I didn't find the trailer all that great. Lou, stay out of the chat.
I'm not on the chat.
You have been for the past 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, yes, but not at the second.
Okay.
Now, let me ask this. Tales of Zestiria, I don't keep up with Tales things very frequently, even though I want to get into the series. Because I've played it before, but I never actually finished the game, but I did enjoy what I was playing. Is this one actually coming to PlayStation 4? Because I know the last one didn't.
Nope.
Oh, well, I guess I'm still not getting into the series.
Yep, you're going to have to wait. It may come to PlayStation Now, but as of right now, it is PlayStation 3 exclusive. They said before, like right around when Zestiria was announced, people asked why was it coming to PS4, and the Tales team at Bandai Namco said that they want to release the game where most players are. And at that time, the PlayStation 4 was brand new and did not have a huge
Install base.
Install base, yeah. But it's been, what, a year and a half, almost 2 years now since then, and it's grown so big, you know. So, like, I see no reason why they won't release the next one on PS4. But that being said, it may not be for another 2 or 3 years. So, like, you're going to have to wait to get into the series if you're going to wait for it. Yeah, I was going to say, by then we're going to be at the PS5, so, oh, man. Yeah, so that's good news. I'm super glad to see that coming.
I know one of my roommates is going to be going crazy once it comes out.
Oh, God, I'm going to be going crazy. I don't care what comes out that week. It's Zestiria week for me. Like, I'm closing everything else out.
What about The Witcher, man?
Dude, The Witcher is coming soon. Quit bringing that up.
No one really knows when it's coming out.
Speaking of JRPGs, Miles.
Okay, so Capcom has announced Monster Hunter Stories, which is the first actual JRPG in the Monster Hunter series. It's going to be very cute art style, much like Ni no Kuni, and the game will be released in 2016, and it will launch exclusively on the Nintendo 3DS. I still can't get my Monster Hunter fix. Just bring it to PlayStation 4. It'll be beautiful, and I'll buy it. No, I'm not buying another 3DS because I've already had 5.
Buy Tukiden.
What?
Buy Tukiden. I hear that's just like Monster Hunter, but with more story. And it's on PS4 and Vita.
If I wanted something that isn't Monster Hunter, then I would just play Freedom Wars, because I already have that.
Have you played Tukiden? Right. Have you ever played Tukiden?
No, but I've been tempted before.
Go download the demo. The demo's on PS4 right now.
Oh,
Is
there's
that
a
a sequel?
okay.
Is
Yeah,
Monkey
try
Day
that
the
out.
first one?
It's
I'll look
actually
at the demo.
Tuguden Kiwami is the full name. It's actually pretty good. I played the demo for a few hours with our listener Josh a few weeks ago before it actually was released, and it was really interesting. And I put it on my GameFly queue, but I haven't got it yet. But
Okay.
yeah, it looks pretty good, and you might like it. It's very similar to Monster Hunter.
I'm really
I'll
glad
give
we
it-
just glossed over my awful pun.
Yeah, I didn't even pay
What?
attention.
Okay,
Good.
rewind. What was your pun? I'm listening.
I said, is Tukiden the sequel? Because I haven't played Wonkiden.
Ah,
Uh,
funny.
I should be disappointed in yourself.
I'm really, really disappointed.
Have either of you guys seen the trailer for Monster Hunter Stories?
No, I have not.
No.
It is super cute looking. Like, it's very not Monster Hunter looking at all.
Very kawaii.
It excites me that it's going to be an actual JRPG and not a Monster Hunter type game. So that may be the first Monster Hunter game I ever play. Who knows? All right, moving on to our last story. The Witcher 3 has gone gold, guys. Quit saying it's going to come out in the fall or whatever. It is fucking coming out on May 19th. It has gone gold. A message from the head of CD Projekt Red said this to say, "We worked so hard over the past 3 years to bring you this game." Or we worked so damn hard. My bad. Skipped right over that. From the corrupt nobles of Novigrad to ancient monsters lurking in deep forests to the bustling cities, colorful ports, and breathtaking vistas, all the people, all the places. We literally spent tens of thousands of hours to turn all that into an adventure that will kick your ass and make you want to come for more. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt comes to PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 on May 19th. I am super excited. I'm so glad it's gold. No more delays. Ready to play it.
Right. I don't know about
I
you,
just
Courtney,
realized I clapped.
but we get these press release emails, of course, because we are members of the press.
Yeah.
But when I saw this, because I get it pop up on my phone, I didn't open it, but I just saw it because the headline, the subject,
yeah.
The Witcher 3 has gone gold. I had a silent, like, yes, in class.
Yeah, I was laying in bed when I got the email, and I went, yes! Finally. Cannot wait. I'm so glad that that's coming out, and there's not going to be any delays. There's not really much else to say about that. We've talked about The Witcher 3 a shitload.
It's
Quite
nearly
a lot,
been
yeah.
the majority of our podcast names, I think.
Yeah. Now, there is one concern I have with it going gold so far in advance, or at least the announcement of it. Recent trend has been when we see a game go gold at least a month in advance, it's been leaked to the public or leaked to the press or whatever way too early. And spoilers get thrown all over the internet. Videos go up, full walkthroughs, things like that. That was the case with The Order. That was the case with a few games last fall, I believe, as well. And it worries me that may happen with this. But at the same time, the way CD Projekt Red has been so goddamn confident about this game, like, I don't see any negative press coming from an early leak.
Right. As long as us as gamers and you viewers watching this and you listeners listening know that you just stay away from all the previews. You want it to be a surprise. You want it to be great. You want it to be Christmas.
Yep.
You don't want to look at the presents before Christmas.
I mean, if you do find out a spoiler, I know this coming from me sounds insane, but I mean, spoilers aren't that bad. Personally, if I read a spoiler, read, not watch. If I see it, it's done. I don't want to play the game anymore. But if I read it, it's like, that personally makes me more excited. But that's just me. If you read it, it's not so bad. You can still play through it and get the experience.
I hate spoilers altogether. I don't like reading. I don't like seeing them, anything. But I've seen spoilers and still been able to play games and still get excited at the end or still get upset or still, regardless of what the spoiler said. Like, I was streaming Final Fantasy 13 the other day, like 2 weeks ago, and we had a guy come in there and fucking spoil the end of 13 and 13-2.
Oh.
And, like, there are some big moments at the end of those games, and there were people in that stream watching me play who have not played the trilogy yet and who were starting it, like, right then, and they wanted to watch me play it and see how it was, and they were all like, what the fuck? Like, how do you ruin those? Like, I pissed me off. I almost banned him. I was like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Should taught him a lesson.
All right. Can I just answer a question in
Yeah.
the chat? Fable Merc, who's been here throughout the whole thing. Thanks for staying with us, Fable Merc. But he says, "But what if you do, Lou? What if you do want to look at it?
But that was
then
that was Kyle.
oh, wait, who? Oh, it's the same colors. Killing me. I can't. Just so you guys know, I can't actually see. These glasses are practically fake at this point. It says, but what if you do, Lou? Then you know what you're getting, and I think that's a good point. If you are on the fence and you don't know if you want it, absolutely look at the previews.
yeah.
Absolutely look at what you need to know if you want the game or don't want the game. I'm saying as soon as you know you want, shut it down.
Yep.
Yeah, because you will definitely be happier having seen a little bit of the story and know that you want to get it and be happy with your $60 purchase than if you buy it and then you try and play it and it's just like, $60 out the window. So
Off the window?
out is what I said, but I bit my tongue when I did it, so just
All right. Okay, so that wraps up the News from Nowhere section. We're going to move into the listener questions. Submit your questions now. All right, we do have one question from Toonday, which you can send us questions at contact.mong@gmail.com. That is the first way you can get it to us, because then it'll be ahead of time, and then we can post them on our outline and read them off on the podcast. The other way is to tune in live at twitch.tv/mongplays and submit questions when we get to this section there. But the first question from Toonday is, why do you dudes play video games? Which he took from recent Podcast Beyond and GameScoop podcast, because I listened to both of those and I heard all of those reasons. And I found it really interesting. So I'm glad he asked us that, because I was wondering if we were going to ever get asked that. Lou, do you have an answer for this?
Yeah, I do. It's really a way for me to stay connected with my friends. I've been away from back home since I was in college, because I went straight from Parsippany to Baltimore. And when I got to Baltimore, I immediately clicked with people who played video games, and we had like 3 or 4 TVs, and we would be playing video games nonstop and talking video games nonstop. And then I went off to college, and now I'm not around anyone who plays video games.
Yep.
So really, I mean, despite me loving the industry and loving the games and loving the media, it's really a great way for me to stay connected with my friends and for me to stay connected with my family. And it's something that a lot of people our age bond over. And, it's a very special thing, I think. And that's what keeps me playing even when I am busy.
Those are really good reasons, because, I hadn't really thought about it that way, but the fact that we all came together with Middle of Nowhere Gaming, the fact that we talk every week because of the podcast, we talk in all of our chats with all of these, we've had over 50 writers join the Mong team over the past 2 years, 30 that are currently there, and it's like we talk with these people every day now, and these are people we never would have met had it not been for this website and playing games and talking. And then like the other communities we're a part of, Podcast Beyond and Unlocked and GameScoop and Nintendo Voice Chat, like we've met and talked with so many cool people because of video games. Like it's a really good reason to game. It's just that the friendships we form.
Yeah.
Miles, you have a good answer?
I mean, my answer is very similar to Lou's. For one, it's just I enjoy games. That's like the most basic way I can put it. I know it's not a good answer, but it's the best answer. I enjoy playing games. I enjoy playing games with my friends. It is a social activity that is, I wouldn't say easily accessible, because sometimes that price tag can be a little steep, but it's something that everyone can do, kind of, if you will. And it's also not to say our world is sucky, but I sometimes enjoy seeing fantastical worlds like Destiny or futuristic worlds like Destiny, fantastical worlds like Dragon Age Inquisition. So, it's just I won't say an escape, because I'm not going to act like my life is all that bad, but it's something that's just enjoyable to do and stepping into some other being's shoes. So,
yeah.
Right.
My reason for gaming has changed over the years. In high school, it was just a hobby to do on Saturday nights or whatever with friends playing Call of Duty or Halo or whatever. Like, just get together, drink illegally since we're underage and play games where we kill people. You know, like that was it for me. And then I came to KU, and like I was alone up here basically. You know, I didn't have any friends. I didn't know anybody from KU, and so I started to actually pick up games and play them like deep JRPGs and deep RPGs and games that would last so much longer than your typical match of Halo or Call of Duty. And it just like I started to realize the things that you can do in games are so much more that you can do in real life, and that's what was appealing to me. And one of the reasons it led to me starting Middle of Nowhere Gaming, and the student newspaper did a story on when I started the website, and they asked me, you know, why do you play games? And so I was going to read that answer here because that's basically my answer. It's still my answer. As I said, it's something I enjoy because I can do things I can't do in real life. I can't dunk a ball in real life. I can't throw a touchdown pass for KU. I can't wield a sword and fight a dragon. All these exciting things in the world in the world that I'm not able to experience, games allow me to do on a daily basis. It's just like it's so exciting to be able to do those things, and it's a different kind of excitement. It's something you don't get to feel or experience in your everyday life. So that's why I play games, and I see the friendships and stuff like that. The thing that Lou brought up, that's like a bonus. Like, you know, that wasn't why I played games. That's not the reason I started. That's not the reason I got really into it. But because of me getting into it, it's resulted in gaining friends like you guys. You know, friends I talk to on a daily basis. I have like 100 Facebook chats with different groups of friends who play games that I keep up with on a daily basis. And it's just like, it's amazing. I love what we do. I love that we get to play games and talk about it.
And just to extrapolate on the whole bonding thing, I know back when I started college at my last college, I thought I was going to go, and I moved in, and I was in a suite with 3 other people. I thought I was going to hate them for forever. And and then, like, essentially I made friends with one of them because we started playing Borderlands 2. We ended up finishing that like 50 times. And then we began an institution, which we called Grown Man Time. And is when we would bring my TV into the our common suite area, and we'd get all the controllers from everyone, and we'd play Mortal Kombat or whatever, like Halo, Mortal Kombat, whatever. And that like brought the other 2 guys closer, who I never thought I was gonna like them, never thought I was gonna ever really speak to them or be on a friendly basis. And we all started hanging out. Grown Man Time was wonderful. I wish I still had Grown Man Time. I like the name of it. It's funny. But yeah, so games are awesome.
Games are awesome. That is a good one. All right, next question. Lou.
Okay, I'm going back up to the top. Let's see. Looking into the summer, what's everyone playing? Is there enough time for both Witcher and Batman?
Looking into the summer. Oh, God. Yeah, there's enough time for it. I mean,
Make time
for it.
My doorbell rang.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, this summer I'm going to be playing The Witcher the second I graduate. It comes out. I'm going to be playing that nonstop. And then I'll be playing Batman when it gets released. Of course, all the episodic games when they're released. Let's see. It was confirmed this morning, I believe, that Journey's coming to PS4 this summer. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture's coming out this summer. Until Dawn is thought to be coming out this summer. Like, I'm going to be playing all of those games. Like, there are a lot of really good games coming out this summer, and I'm glad to be fucking graduating college so I won't have homework to do. I'll just have work and Mong to do. And so video games I hopefully will be able to play more of going forward after that point.
I'm on the fence about playing both of them, but if you want to play them, you can make time. Well, I can because I don't have a job yet, so I don't really have anything to do. Hey guys, somebody hire me. But fine time, I guess. Like, play through all of Witcher, like every single thing, 100%, and Batman, maybe not. Especially if you actually have like a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. That might be a little bit rough to fit that all one summer. But I think you could do it as long as you didn't have a girlfriend. That's true. If you have a girlfriend or wife or fiance or anything like that, then there's no way to do that. Like, nope. You need to be prepared to go home immediately, just like drop trowel, get in your comfy state, and then just play until it's time to go to sleep, or else you won't be able to wake up in the morning. So,
Now, one of the questions we had was from Erico, and he asked, why did PlayStation Home close down? For that answer, rather than us going into it, I'm posting the story in the chat because it closed down for financial reasons. It just was not doing very good. But if you want to read the entire story about it, like, go read that. Because the logistics, we don't need to get into that. It's kind of an old story now.
I mean, my simple response is just gonna be like, no one used it.
Yeah, exactly. Financially, it was not worth it to keep it up.
Yeah.
A question from Fable Merc. He asked, will Rockstar develop a Grand Theft Auto game for the Vita similar to Stories games on PSP? Rockstar does owe Sony an exclusive since we've heard no news since Agent. I doubt it. I don't think the Vita is going to get any more third-party exclusives like that are going to be that big. Maybe Sony will pay out the ass for it. Maybe they'll pull a Microsoft and be like Rise of the Tomb Raider kind of shit, Maybe they'll do that. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. I don't think it's in their marketing strategy anymore.
Also, no matter how much you love Vita, everyone who has a Vita probably loves Vita because, it's like, I have this, I want games for it. But no matter how much you do, it's not sustaining itself very well. Let's be honest. Yeah. Like, it's getting support now, which is more support than it had in the past, but it's not going to be a 3DS someday. We just have to face it. It's like a horse with two broken legs. We're going to care for it as much as we can until the day it leaves us. But it's not going to be racing. It's
a lot like the Wii U is right now. The Wii U is never going to be the Wii. Ever. It's never going to be the Wii. And the Vita is never going to be the PSP. It's just never going to happen. And I don't see them wasting the money on doing something like that. Now, maybe if the next iteration of the Vita comes out, maybe it'll happen then. But I don't see it coming. I don't see it ever coming to Vita itself as the Vita we know right now. Yeah. Question from Kyle. He asks, "What's your favorite restaurant in Lawrence?" He says that he's partial to Free State. Free State's pretty good, but that's not my favorite. My favorite by far is Jefferson's. Jefferson's is so goddamn good. Jefferson's is a wings joint. It's like a sports bar, and their fucking wings are amazing. Like, oh my god. Unfortunately, Jefferson's burned down in December, but they're about to reopen. They're supposed to be reopening within a month, I believe. And so, like, my final semester here at KU in Lawrence, I have not been able to go to my favorite restaurant. I've been so upset that I have not been able to go. So I cannot wait until they reopen. You guarantee you I'm going to be there on opening week when it reopens. I miss their wings so bad. Oh, my God. But, yeah, so that's my favorite. And then a question from Toonday, Rancid Beast. Yes, how about the Star Wars trailer?
If you're talking about the one that came out just recently... what about it?
Have you seen it, Miles?
Let's be honest. Yeah, I sat down and watched it before podcast, and did it show more than I saw? Like, was there more to it than what I witnessed? Because it didn't seem like it was anything too amazing. Like, it was,
I thought it was awesome. I mean, like, the part where you get down to Han and Chewbacca, like, we're home. Like, I was like, oh my god, I'm ready.
Like, that was the only monumental part to me. Everything else was just kind of like, okay, so they're setting up a bit of story, I guess. They got this kid whose whole family are force sensitive, I guess. That's what I gleaned from it.
Yeah.
What are we talking?
Talking about the Star Wars trailer today.
Oh, good. You talked about things I don't care about.
We answered like 4 or 5 questions without you.
Yeah, I was. There was a charity person, and I normally don't donate to charities, but he had food.
We have 2 more questions, and then we're gonna wrap up. So don't chew into the mic. Another question from Kyle. Yes, will you be staying in Lawrence after graduation? Yeah, I will be until I get a job elsewhere. I'm gonna be getting a job somewhere in Lawrence or in the area until someone like IGN or Game Informer or Giant Bomb or some other website hires me. Until then, I will be here. But yeah, so I'll be here for the time being.
I have a question for you, Kyle. Why aren't you asking Lou and I questions, huh?
Because he's from
It's
the
messed
area.
up, man.
He's from the area. He knows.
You can
Lawrence
still ask questions for us.
Is this Weatherman, Kyle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What about the food we like in our areas? You can come visit. I see where we stand, Kyle. I see where we stand.
So, final question of this episode from Fable Mark. He says, or yes, do you mourn the loss of physical gaming manuals? Lou, since you've missed the last few.
Absolutely. That was my favorite part of physical games. I actually stopped buying physical games as soon as manuals weren't a thing anymore.
Really?
That was like the main driving factor because I love sitting there. Like normally as a kid especially, you'd go and you'd pick up a game and then you'd go out to a family function or something. You wouldn't have anything to do. You wouldn't go back and play the game right away. You'd have to sit looking at your game box going, I want to play this right now, but I can't. So let me look at this 20-page manual.
Now, see, there's a difference for me with manuals. Like, there's one thing when it was very technical, like, this is how you do this is how you do that. I didn't enjoy those. I enjoyed the first manuals that were coming out, like, back in the early 2000s, where it would give you, like, a world description, like what's the world, what's going on in the world. It would give you a description for every main character, like who they were, how old they were, what they've done in their lives, you know, like a description for why there was magic in the world, like all those kind of things that you find in like strategy guides.
Exactly.
Like, those parts, I loved those. And like you said, like you would go to a family function, wouldn't be able to play the game, you could just whip out that book and you could just read all about the game that you're about to be playing. Like that was, I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling the same way. Like, although it doesn't, now that I think about it, I miss them. But although now, like in this day and age, for me, it wouldn't matter because if I go get a game, I'm probably driving, so I can't read the manual on the way home. And if I do get a game nowadays, it's like I only really play. I only buy downloadable games, or I buy. You know what I'm trying to say. Whatever, words. So they don't, you know, there's the manual that they have, which isn't really accessible if you ask me, but it's not a good process to get to it. But
yeah.
I admit, like back in the old days when manuals were a thing, I always found like some little tidbit of information that even if I played through the tutorial, I didn't see coming. Like, it's just like, oh, I didn't know I could do that by pressing these two buttons together. Now that makes my whole gameplay situation a lot easier or a lot different or whatever. But, you know, I miss them. Let's all pour a drink out for the manuals. See my drink.
A little bit of my orange juice.
Yeah, there you go. Pour it right on the mic.
Okay, so two quick questions in there from Kyle before we finish this off. Kyle asked Miles if you got whatever the hell that weapon is in Destiny yet. Have you got
Kyle
that?
is the master of pandering. Yes, Yowlerhorn is the best weapon in Destiny. You heard it here first.
And you got it? You have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an exotic rocket launcher that is God mode on everything, and I got it in the first week, so I was one of the lucky ones.
Now, Lou, are you going to platinum Wolfenstein, he asks.
I answered him.
Yeah, but you answered
No.
in a really stupid way.
Yeah, apparently. I could have swore reading the trophy guide on PlayStation. Like, I go through PlayStation trophies, go through the trophy guide, and I remember the first thing saying, make sure you have someone to boost with because the multiplayer's a bitch now that people aren't playing it.
You probably,
I was like, oh, shit.
You probably read the trophy guide for the Wolfenstein that came out like 4 years ago instead of this
Could
one.
be it.
Because, yeah, this is what you get for not playing games when they're released. Because the big hubbub about Wolfenstein last year was there's absolutely no multiplayer. And so, yeah.
Oh, I just wasn't paying attention to it last year because I didn't think I was going to care. This one took me by surprise. I decided to care about killing Nazis, and I think it's one of the best killing Nazis games you can get.
Okay, now, for the game releases this week, what kind of good games have already come out since we're on Thursday? On PlayStation 4, we had Mortal Kombat X, Teslagrad, Titan Souls, and We Are Doomed. On PS3, we also have Teslagrad. And then on Vita, we had Best of Arcade Games Deluxe Edition, Bloxic, Medieval Defenders, and Titan Souls.
All right, on Xbox One, we have Mortal Kombat X, best game of the week, yeah. And Xbox 360, well, there's nothing this week for you all, which is weird. Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat didn't come out on the last-gen systems. Sorry, guys.
Suck it.
So for Wii U, we have Tilelicious, delicious tiles.
That's great.
And on 3DS, we have A-Train, City Simulator, and 3D Fantasy Zone 2 Double. Because the 2 wasn't already signifying that. Never mind.
I mean, those are the best two. I give it to Nintendo for having the best names this week. That's a little clap for those who are listening and probably
they've
can't
been
hear
competing with PC for the
Yeah,
worst
we gotta
names
see.
for a
PC might
while.
still have it.
that. I have. All right, so PC this week, you have Mortal Kombat X, Grand Theft Auto 5. Who's playing that Mortal Kombat X, right? Even though it wasn't working for a little while. Titan Souls, Westerado, Double Barreled, Brother Against Brother, The Drawing of the Sword. That sounds dangerous. 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 As well as Elementary, My Dear Majesty. Okay. And Telepath Tactics.
I like to imagine that that's most likely a Sherlock Holmes game where Watson is the queen.
Watson is the queen. We need to get on that. Let's start developing that. Okay, so that wraps up episode 79 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. As we mentioned at the beginning, we are running giveaways right now. So if you want to get in the Shovel Knight giveaway for PlayStation consoles, you should enter before the next podcast, which is next Tuesday. We will announce the 2 winners for both copies on next Tuesday's episode, so do that beforehand. After that, we will be running a giveaway for more games, which include, let's see, off the top of my head, what are they? Broken Age, Year 1 Survival Edition. What the hell is that game called?
The Witcher.
Dead.
No.
Dead Dead.
State of Decay.
State of Decay. There we go.
State of Decay.
State of Decay.
Oh, I want
And
that.
then the following week we'll be giving the DLC prequel to the Wolfenstein, and then 2 weeks later we'll be giving away a copy to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So if you want to get into any of those, make sure to enter all of them before Tuesday each week, and we will announce the winners on each podcast. Okay. If you have any questions you want to send us to read off on the podcast, or if you have any topic ideas for the QuickTime Event podcast, you can email us at contact.mong@gmail.com. Of course, we stream the podcast on twitch.tv/mongplays, so if you want to ask questions there, you could tune into that. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/user/mongnetwork. And that is where the podcast goes, the video reviews go, our News from Nowhere series goes. And then if you want to find all of our Let's Play videos or our live stream highlights, you go to, this is where it gets weird, youtube.com/ I believe it's C/Middle of Nowhere Gaming Plays. So that's really weird, but whatever. And then you can find us on Twitter at mong.com, all spelled out, mong.and.com. And then you can find us on Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram by just searching for Middle of Nowhere Gaming. And then, of course, the website is middleofnowheregaming.com, and that's where you can find all the latest news stories, latest reviews, editorials, podcasts, videos, all the good stuff. And then you can find us all on Twitter. I am at Osborne_2009. Lou is...
Lou Cantaldi.
And Miles is...
Furious Milk, no longer the Dreadhawk.
No longer the Dreadhawk. Thank you guys for joining me once again. And Mong!
Mong!
Keep it milky.
Mong.